I will start the recording. Hi, dear children. Welcome to our last webinar. I just finished another webinar.
Hi.
Welcome to our last webinar about the topic leadership and social change in education. We are still waiting for. Meanwhile, let me share with you the two links of the Zoom pad. You already have them on your telephone. But mostly of the three-sider on which you have to vote. This is the link of the three-sider. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, okay. That's super. And meanwhile, I admit many people are coming now. I suppose the moderators are, everybody can be moderator because the votes, we can start because the time is very, very tight. As you have voted or chosen, there were, if you open the three-sider, you will see different scenarios that you have suggested. If you want to talk a bit about some of them, there were both scenarios from the utopian point of view and from dystopian point of view. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can.
Okay, so please have the floor, take the floor. If you open the three-sider, you see the scenarios that you have you have suggested mostly. And on the Zoom pad, we will write the main ideas. Some of them suggested that, do you remember that students are not taught the right and the useful things? People can be better manipulated. Or that students are not taught useful things, they won't manage in life. Here is the Zoom pad also. Can you mention something about this? You can click on three-sider.
Hello.
Hello, dear Anna, Maria. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our until other people are coming, we can start discussing about different scenarios. Hello, hello. Many people are coming now. Does anybody want to start? You can open the three-sider and there you see, I'll repost them all the time for everybody to see. And there you can see your ideas that you shared on the Zoom pads in both utopia teams and dystopia teams. Can anybody say something about these scenarios and bring arguments?
Sure. I can speak about this one particular argument that I really liked. That
Very well.
yeah,
Thank you.
it said that it's best if we encourage active participation and experimentation with ideas amongst students. I think that it's not only a great ideology, I guess, and a thing that you can implement in life. It's a great thing that, we can be taught those things by other people, especially those that play a big role in our lives, in our daily lives, such as teachers and people like that. I think it's a great concept, and I do think that it should be encouraged more often.
Yeah, totally agree. Students involved in the act of education, becoming their own responsible for their own education after all. That's the focus. We the teachers should only guide or monitor the act of education. The students should be at the center of the education. What about the skills that or the types of leadership in education that can bring good consequences or bring about bad consequences from a dystopian point of view or utopian? Open the three-sider and there you can see the ideas mentioned and we can discuss them and then vote. What about the role of the leaders in education? How do you see them? The people in authority who can have a say.
I personally think that hierarchy is very unnecessary in all kind of aspects of life. I do think that the anarchy that makes one more superior, it kind of like takes the power from another one and obviously discourages it, because I feel like the biggest letdown of the society of, is the idea of people itself, that we are the ones just causing each other's discouragement. And I think that that's a bad thing, because obviously we're there to inspire. And I think that one having authority or more authority than the other one just automatically causes some sort of like distress for the other person. So I think that education is all about equality, and not only the sense of power, but in all aspects that there are to consider, whether it's gender, whether it's, I don't know, like, your position in life, financial situation, it's all about oneness and bringing each other together. Because if we're congregated, we are obviously the source of power and the greater source of it.
Wow, great. But still, the opposite view, there are people who can take decisions in education, coming from the ministry, in each country to, yeah, wonderful ideas.
Well, someone being able to hold your fate in their hands and like control it and like manipulate it the way they want, I don't think that that's a very, good thing to expect, because you know that tomorrow is unpredictable, and inevitably that just makes you question your control over yourself. And it's pointless to live if that's like the what you live by. So it's kind of like what we worship as in power, like of the ministry and stuff like that. I don't think that we should like um lean on it much, but rather consider our own role in the system.
But there should be a system. Otherwise,
Well, yeah, but we are the system.
we
That
are
there's
the
no
system.
point in having a minister at the top. We are a minister altogether.
Yeah, great idea, Fatima. Maybe one day you will be the Minister of Education and you can change something. I pose a three-sider many times so that everybody can see it and open it and vote after we discuss the. You can open it and discuss the scenarios that you can see there. What other views are mentioned there that you would like to discuss? Other people, please. Don't be shy. Time is very short. And no other views? Open the three-sider and you see there. There was a very interesting idea that if people don't get proper education, they won't, and the skills needed, useful for 21st century, they won't manage in life so well, and then due to this, because of this, they will be more easily manipulated. How do you see this dystopian view? In fact, it's a pertinent, a valid point of view. Can anybody uh, elaborate on this? What skills do children, skills, competencies, abilities, behaviors do children need to be taught uh, to be able to manage in life, to cope with
I
the requirements of. Yes, please.
I think students should learn how to deal with the world of work. Should learn what the options really are and the relationship between early choices and subsequent destinies. They should learn what a business idea really is and they discuss productive and less productive sectors of the economy.
Yeah, very pertinent arguments. Well done. Other views? There were some views that in the future, dystopian views, uh, artificial intelligence will replace humans as teachers.
I think that that is valid in some areas in life and in some, working, requirements, I guess. But I don't think that robots can particularly replace a human or their ability to teach, because obviously they're competent creatures and a brain has not been manipulated in a way that it hasn't been recreated. and it doesn't have an alternative. So obviously, the way you can deal with a child and you know, make out their difficulties in certain areas in their studies, machines cannot replicate that. And so I don't think that that's valid at all. I think that to a certain extent, yes, that might be, you know, artificial intelligence is a big part of our lives even now, but if it grows, I don't think that it'll touch that field.
And maybe they can teach knowledge, but not the soft skills, empathy, rapport between people.
Can I
Yes,
say
yes, please.
something about this?
Yes, yes, please.
I think that the artificial intelligence will be so advanced that at one point will replace the humans, because humans build very intelligent and powerful robots, and I think that at one point the robots will be so powerful that will replace us.
It's your point of view. We respect it. It's the dystopian point of view. Okay. If you please open the three-sider and vote. Read first the scenarios that you have put on the Zoom pads and you wrote about them. And if you can develop some other scenarios. The types of leadership. Who would like to talk about the types of the ways of leadership that should be in education? Fatima expressed her point of view. Are there any other points of view? Dalia, can you? What kind of leaders should we need in education? Or types of leadership? Can you tell us something, please? Or anybody else? Sebastian? Mohammed? Efe? You will be the leaders of tomorrow. So we want to see your points of view. As applied to education. Don't be shy. We are among friends here. Girls, boys.
I think that the students uh, can be the leaders of schools or education, because they know what they need for them and they can improve education and everything in schools and everything.
Yes, good point. Other people are coming. Lucky us. Please, if you want to express, open the three-sider and read the scenarios and vote for whichever you find relevant. And if you want to elaborate, to develop some other ideas mentioned there, they are your own opinions that you expressed on Zoom pads. And we summarize them in 3 utopian and 3 dystopian scenarios. Social change. Let's talk about social change. How will education bring social change? Or what's in a good point and in a dystopian point of view? How can education give birth to social change or changes, in fact? Don't be shy, don't be shy. Time is running out. It's very short. Musa is joining us.
Can I say?
Yes, yes, please. Yes, please.
So social change, it can be defined as the change of the social structure and the network of social relations that make up it, as well as the social institutions that determine these relations.
Yeah. Other points of view, please. What is the relationship between education and social changes? Changes in society. How can education apply in social life? When children become adults and have a job, and how will their education impact the fields of society, different domains in society? Have you thought about it? You wrote a lot about it on the Toompad, so the relationship between education and society. Open the three-sider and you will see there the viewpoints expressed and elaborate on them a little with arguments. Saijin, Efe, Musa, Latif, Auguste. Nobody wants to develop these ideas? Ana Maria, nobody comes up with any ideas, any suggestions? Don't be shy. You have the idea summarized on the three-sider. Just develop them a little.
Can I have a go again?
Yes, yes, please, Fatima.
I think that the society is a bit ignorant when it comes to education because they kind of rely on the what is the papa of our generation, which is like the government. They rely on that to improve, and I think that yet again, the power is in us. But the reason why we're ignorant is because we're lazy when it comes to the newness and the development as well. Because I think that people fear the consequences as they're just getting comfortable with the innovations of our generation, including technology. And I think that people fear that maybe because they see comfort in our gadgets and all the things that we own right now, that if we find something new, maybe it's going to be better than us, so we're going to be eliminated. You know what I mean? So I think that that's why they're trying to eliminate the the progress that we can have by educating our children and stuff like that. But but people are also trying. There are those that are keen on it, and there are those that show effort, which we have to obviously appreciate. And the biggest inspirators are us as people. We have to, we are the only ones that we have, and we have to rely on our strength and our willpower to to learn what we can while we're alive, because life's short. And yeah, it's what we owe ourselves at the very least.
Great, Fatima. You'll make a great leader someday and bring lots of changes. I'm very sure of that. And we are proud that the young generation, will apply what we teachers are trying to instill in you.
Thank you.
Good behaviors, knowledge, etc., etc. We put our hope in you, our all hope in the next generation. Other points of view, dear children. Just open the three-sider and you will see them. Sorry for that. No other points of view? Boys? What are their opinion on this? The social changes that educated people can bring about. Please don't be shy. Time is running out and you have to vote. Just develop one idea from the three-sider. Nobody wants to develop on it? Why do we need education? How will education help us in future life? Both in from utopian and dystopian point of view. Or the types of leadership. Maybe other people have other ideas. The role of education in society, or the relationship between education and society. that will result into changes. We still have 2 minutes. Please hurry up with your ideas. I know it's a difficult topic. You have to role play and think you are the leaders or the actors of that can take decisions in education. Please hurry up. Other ideas. You have them on the three-sider. Just develop from there. Dear children, nobody has to say anything. Dalia, can you say something, please? Do you think education is important for society or not? Or other people? Don't be shy. Children, our dear students, don't be shy. Please express your views. You had many points of view, very interesting points of view mentioned in writing. We still have 8 minutes. Time is running out very fast. Just think of a scenario and mention it. Bring it up. Boys, girls, our dear children, please come up with a suggestion, with an idea. It's a difficult topic, indeed. No other ideas? Boys don't have anything to add? Efes, Aijin, or Guz, Latif? Mohammed? Or girls? Just read one of the scenario that hasn't been mentioned yet from the three-sider, and don't forget to open it and vote. Hmm? Can you please read one of the scenario that hasn't been mentioned yet? Nobody wants to say anything? We still have 5 minutes left, please. Let's draw a conclusion. Is education important for society?
Definitely. In fact, it's the only thing that just keeps us going. and evolving as human beings.
What would happen if people are not properly educated or very little educated or don't get the skills, the competencies they need for real life? What
Well,
will happen there?
here we are now with the competence and the proper ability to judge and think. We should value that and we should be grateful for that, because even the fact that we're sitting in our houses fully clothed with roofs under our head, over our heads, I guess, it's a very valuable thing, because our knowledge and our striving for the better just got us here. And if this wasn't the case, and if we refuse to grow as human beings and evolve, which is the natural kind of the cycle of life, we could have ended up as, well, as the most primitive explanation of this all would be Adam and Eve with leaves as clothes, and even not without that, and we'd just eat and die, and we'd serve no purpose in life, and it would all be pointless. So it all comes down to just growing and living and seeing for yourself, what's good for you, what's not, and drawing conclusions until the day that you die, because otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, and we should study and learn permanently, even as adults.
Yes, of course, until the day you die.
So all in all, if we draw a conclusion, how should we see the future of societies because of due to education, due to educational systems? There is a close relationship. There is a close relationship between education and society. That's
Well, first of all, we should seek power, hunger, and the strive, and the just the want to get better at what we are, and basically evolve into greater beings and become human after all, because currently we're not necessarily showing signs of that at of our true being. And I feel like we should explore that. We should accept that first and love ourselves first and learn to do that. And then get in the sector of education and evolve in that field to provide a better life for the future generations and for us.
definitely, if people get a proper education, they will evolve beautifully and will be responsible, active citizens of their countries, of their communities, of their family. So by all means, education is necessary, and a proper education, of course, without discrimination for both genders, all categories of children should have equal chances to education. And teachers will be needed, after all, to instill this motivation, rekindle the motivation for learning into their children. Do you have to add anything else, dear children? Julian, can you say something, please? We still have less than 1 minute. If somebody else wants to add another idea. No other ideas? Alexandra, Dalia? You are very shy today.